Okay, today I'm going to be working on my 1926 Model T touring. A lot of people don't realize I have 4 1920s cars. This is one of them, and this is up in the Dallas area. I also have a 1929 Buick. I have a 1926 Model T truck, and I have a 1928 Durant. Anyway, so there's that. But today I'm going to be putting the fan back on here and a new radiator on here that I ordered from Snyder's Antique Auto. If you ever need a part for a Model T, that's the place to go, and Langs.com or Langs Car Parts, something like that. I don't know. But anyway, they have every part you would ever need for this, and cheap too. For example, one time the exhaust pipe fell off of here on the road and bent itself up. I got a new one for $24. Henry Ford made 15 million Model Ts by the year 1927. So, parts are readily available and they're still in demand, so they still make them. Anyway, that was a big side quest, but let's put the fan on and the radiator on. And for those of y'all that were losing y'all's marbles with the fire shooting out of the side of the engine, that's because we didn't have an exhaust manifold on there yet. But, I mean, engines work on combustion, like, duh. The old radiator right here and one of the baffles came unsoldered in there, so the water would always boil over and stuff. That's why they added an aftermarket water pump. Originally, this car did not need a water pump because it uses thermosiphoning. That means hot water rises, cold water sinks. That's how the radiator cools the engine. Here is the new radiator core. It was made in a foundry. It's made of brass and copper and all that good stuff, just like the original. Okay, I'm going to be putting the fan on the engine. Here is the gasket on the other side of here. I'm doing this one-handed. So we will put the little bolts through here. These have lock washers on them. I'm going to need both hands. But anyway, and we're going to put this on one side, and then we're going to attach it to the engine, like this. Okay, now I'm going to put the electric starter back together. We got a new gear for it, so I'll be able to use an electric starter instead of killing my hands. Okay, I've got the Bendix cover off of the starter. There's a starter shaft right there. Here's the Bendix cover. Let's go ahead and put the gearing on there. Here is the main starter gear. Let's go ahead and put it on there. Okay, the starter gearing is attached right there. Now I'm going to put the Bendix cover back on, and we have the cork gasket just sitting in place. Okay, I have the Bendix starter cover installed. The cork gasket is on. To get neutral in this car, you have to make adjustments and stuff. Also, when it is really cold outside, sometimes you have to prop up the back wheels because you don't have neutral until it warms up. So there are adjustments that need to be made to get neutral in this car. So I'm just going to jack up one of the back wheels, and I will be able to start it. Okay, that back wheel is lifted. We're going to come over here. I'm going to we'll start it with the parking brake off. And then once it warms up, we should be able to engage the parking brake. Okay, here we go. The button for the for the starter is right here. You adjust timing. There it is. That's it. Okay, right now my cousin Scott is attaching the radiator. I'm about to attach the hoses. There is no water pump on this car. This car does not need a water pump. So there will be a straight tube that goes in between here and here, and these will attach that tube. Here's the new radiator. Okay, the new radiator is on. Let's turn the key on. Adjust the timing, give it some gas, and just for the heck of it, and for old time's sake, let's come around and crank start it. If I get this crank in the right place, it should just want to start. Once it gets gas, there. Give it more. Advance the timing a little more. Probably, you know what? We need to adjust the carburetor. Okay, the car is almost in full working order. I've got to change the inner tube inside of this tire. Let's get started. I'll take off the hubcap. I need channel locks for that. Okay, I've got the hubcap off. Now we're going to take the cotter pin out of here. Let's wipe this off first. We'll re-grease it later, because I can't see the cotter pin. There it is. Okay, we're going to remove this cotter pin and this castle nut. You know, actually, I don't even need to remove this, these spokes and stuff. Let me put this back, because there's a simpler way to do this. I went on autopilot. All we have to do is remove these 4 bolts. Okay, I've got the tire off. Now we need this little thing to pull the rim together so that we can take this off and get to the inner tube inside of there. Okay, we've got the tire, rim pulled together. Now we're going to remove the outer wall. Okay, here is the rim, and then here is the inner tube inside of this tire. This has been repaired one time, looks like. Okay, here's a new outer wall for the tire. Let me go get a new inner tube. Okay, now the carburetor is somewhat adjusted. So let me show you how easy this car is to start now. I will start it both ways. Okay, we'll adjust the spark advance, give it a little throttle. Brake is on. Good, it won't run over us now. Now we just got to get the crank in the right place. Okay, so that's running on battery, and then if we want to use the magneto, you switch your key over like this. That's the magneto. Now we'll start it with the push button starter. Okay, we got to go to battery for this. Our brake is on. There's the push button starter switch right down here. There that is. Okay, I have the hood on the car, and the engine is dialed in. This should start in less than 1 turn of the flywheel. Let's see. Let's step on the starter. Here we go.